So join us here live on The Splash to talk a little bit more about the STEAM program within the West Bloomfield School District. We're being joined by Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, and Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn. Thank you both for being here.
Us today. We're really excited to be on board, and we are super stoked for the school year to get going. We cannot wait to get kids in our buildings and just feel that vibe and buzz that is the start of the school year.
Thank you. So we kind of broke it down a little bit already, but let's have you break it down officially. What is STEAM program? We know it's an acronym. Just break that down and how you all actually service STEAM right here in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get started, then I'll kick it over to Amy because she is the absolute expert, especially when it comes to STEAM at the elementary level. So, one of the things in our
Thank
school district that we're so proud of are all the opportunities and platforms and avenues and pathways that our kids have, especially at the high school level with all of our advanced placement programming, with our CTE programming, our theater, athletics. One of the great niches that we have at the high school as well is a Project Lead the Way STEAM program. Students have to meet
you.
criteria to be able to get into it, and it just gives them an opportunity to learn and have access to, like we talked about, science, technology, engineering, arts, math, project-based learning that gives them a glimpse of what they might be able to do into their future. We also have that Project Lead the Way programming and STEAM programming at the middle school level. So as we transition this year into four K-5 elementary buildings, which is a significant shift from our past when we had K2, 3, 5 buildings, we asked ourselves the question, what would it look like if we provide that elementary experience, same kind of pathway as the middle school and high school, so that we can create that vertical alignment and give kids
Hmm.
an eye and a window into their future? What would it look like if they said, oh, I can do that at middle school, or I can do that at high school, and then beyond, I can do this in real life. So that's basically the premise of the program. At the elementary level, like I said, we're utilizing Project Lead the Way curriculum, and I'm just going to let Amy talk a little bit about some of the exciting units of study that our kids K through 5 are going to have the opportunity to experience.
Thank you.
Okay.
So looking at Project Lead the Way, something that is very unique about it is the students are able to really have some like hands-on experience through activities, but then put it together with problem solving, really kind of transfer all of their learning into some kind of project.
Okay.
So we're focusing on computer science and engineering for our modules during our STEAM program. And one example would be they're actually creating a video game and they're actually creating different things on Scratch Junior.
Mm.
So they understand all of the components of coding, first starting with an unplugged project to really understand what that means, and then apply it to something such as creating their own game.
That's a really good example.
Interesting. Creating video games. Yeah, that is wow. Wow, that is something that you can automatically draw people. I mean, especially the youth. You're combining something that all kids or the youth like in video games and technology, and then you're making it educational also. I think that is the greatest way to integrate education into the things that our students like and capture their attention. So great explanation right there. Kind of going back to you real quick, Amy, I'm curious about this. My own brain going off again. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. The only thing that kind of stands out to me in that is art. It's not like math or science, technology, engineering, which all require some type of formal education and math and things of that nature. Tell me why art is just as important as the rest of those.
Yes, I love that question. So when you look at art, art is how we design things, how the user is going to use something, or how the product is going to look. And so whenever we do create something and design something, art is important. And so in every project that
Hmm.
they do, they talk about the whole design, creative expression, different ways to really show things through art.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, Amy. And what a great question. I even think too, you think about the visual sense of art, the design aspect of art, but even thinking about the arts in general, you can make that connection to language arts, right? We all know the importance of
Hmm.
being able to
Yeah.
write well and read well and using that across content areas and across different disciplines to be able to master your craft, right? So it's so important for our kids to make those connections across the curriculum and across what they may experience in their lives as effective readers and writers and designers.
We love to see that and hear that also. And encouraging art. Trust me, I love art and everything that has to do with it. So I love that you're encouraging that. And with us right here on the Splash Live, talking about the STEAM program within West Bloomfield School District, Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, as well as Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn, just talking about STEAM and its importance with all of the elements involved also. So kind of getting back to you, Scott, do you have any specific examples of success stories from students or people that have attended some of your STEAM programs?
Yeah, so like I said, the elementary, this is the first start. So we're going to see those experiences and success stories. But what I can tell you is this last year, I walked into a middle school classroom, Project Lead the Way STEAM program, and the designs and the things that our students are doing. So for example, one of the things I saw was they were making a prosthetic leg to help people in the real world. And I'm walking around the classroom and just looking at kids' designs, and they're explaining how they designed it to help the patient, and just the level of thinking that involved, and how proud they were to show
Yeah.
off their project to an
Mm-hmm.
audience and to myself. Their eyes
Mm-hmm.
just light up. Or another great example is
Yeah.
they're at the middle school level, they're creating an app, and the app is really just designed to be able to give people access to like health opportunities or consumer opportunities. They're coding it, they're doing the aesthetic design, and they're really thinking about problems in the community and how to meet the needs of consumers in the world. And again, the way that they light up when they're engaged in those activities, that breathes life into me as an educator and as a person helping lead the district.
I love that right there. I love that. It's like we said, it's just so important for kids to see that, to make that connection, make it fun also. And I love the fact that you all are actually combining all of that together. So such a great thing. Amy, asking you real quick, I've been hearing video game development, app development, things of that nature, and I'm also hearing that there's different levels of the STEAM elementary, middle, high school. I know we talked about, like we said, video games and the middle schoolers designing apps. What type of things are the elementary school kids doing also? I'm not sure if we touched on that.
Yeah, that'd be great to explain. And so starting in elementary, right away, they're doing some, we call it unplugged activities. So it's coding,
Right, right,
but it's
right, right.
actually using arrows to program something. So they
Mm.
understand what that means to program something. And so we start with unplugged, and then we move right into Scratch Junior. Scratch Junior is a really fun, engaging, it's this little like sprite, I believe it's called, and that's your kind of character. And then you program the character to move certain ways. You can design a setting, a background, and you can eventually then program it to do things. And so it really breaks it down at a young age, so
Mm.
in kindergarten, so they understand that whole idea. And I think Scott talked about the vertical alignment,
Yeah.
and the design process
Right,
is
right.
introduced in kindergarten, and then it's continued throughout the entire program of Project Lead the Way. So that
So
design process is going to be nice because the young students are going to know it and experience it, and they have to, kind of
Mm-hmm.
think things through, work together as a team, test it
Right.
out. If it doesn't work, what do? You've got to improve it. So that's going to be neat.
And how awesome is it going to be when we have our high schoolers or our middle schoolers go visit the elementaries
Yes.
while they're in that class and show them some of the types of things that they're
Yeah.
doing, so that kids
Yeah.
can envision,
Yeah.
oh, I get to do this down the road,
Good
right?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention Jennifer Ladd's class had me come in for app
That's right.
creators.
Yeah.
And so they designed an app for me, and they actually like
Ooh.
had questions for me. The whole team sat down. Different students had different questions for me. If I needed an app for our literacy team, what would I want? And then they created some things. They asked for some files and some pictures, and everything that I mentioned, they designed. Then they got my feedback, and anything that I, mentioned I kind of wanted to change or I wanted to add something extra, they did it. And so it was a neat experience because the students were leading it and the students were doing what they're going to be doing in real life.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which when you talk about like design and thinking critically and working within a group,
Mm-hmm.
collaborating, accessing and leveraging people's strengths within a group and really letting those shine, like those are the types of things that kids get really excited about. We know our kids love to create, and there's
Right.
nothing that they like
Yeah.
less than when they're learning something and it has no application or
Right.
relevance to their lives. So when you have a program like this that gives them choice and voice, the opportunity to create and work within a group,
Yeah.
I think it just sets kids on fire.
I think you all just really, really pointed out everything that we needed to know, all the benefits and why people should be a part of it. Now, if I'm reading this correct, I'm seeing that the openings have closed to sign up for the STEAM program for this school year, if I'm not mistaken. But if people are interested for next school year or just want to learn more information, Scott, start with you. Please give out that information. And Amy, any additional information for the community you want to add on after?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say, in terms of our residents within the district, we have NWEA testing cycles in the fall, winter, and spring. And what we do is we're consistently reviewing that data for any student that has not yet qualified for the program. And when we identify a student that meets that criteria, we immediately reach out to the family. So we'll continue to do that this year.
Okay.
And then for our school of choice families that live outside of the district, we have a school of choice application window in the winter, typically opens up around December, January. Any family within Oakland County can apply. From there, we collect test scores, administer assessments, report cards, and we see if they meet the criteria and then onboard them to the West Bloomfield School District.
Nice. Amy, any additional information that we may have missed for the community?
No, we just appreciate so much sharing and we want to continue. So please look out throughout the year, some of the projects that we're doing, some of the celebrations that we have with our STEAM program, and we would love to share more.
I'd like to just say one more thing, if it's okay. I don't know if we're getting close
Please.
on time here, but I want to just give a huge shout out to Amy Quinn, who has just been a cheerleader and champion for the programming at the elementary level, but also across the district, whether she's leading and supporting robotics in our school district or Lego League or just inspiring teachers. And yeah, she's amazing. And we've had some huge teacher leadership this summer as we get ready for elementary. A shout out to Shahenda Van Nostrand, Monica Hamrick, Colleen Mestog, Sophia Hanifi, Andrea Hill. They've all spent time. Tammy Tucker Whelan. How did I forget her? She's
our art teacher.
And she's one of our art teachers. And they have been so pumped up. A, do training in the summer, and B, collaborate with Amy to give the best experience for our kids. And it's greatly appreciated. They've given up time in the summer to get this thing ready to go.
We're ready.
Absolutely. Yes. And we definitely thank you and appreciate you both for all of your work, the entire staff, and definitely appreciate you for being here in general. Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, and Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn. Thank you so much for being here talking about STEAM and West Bloomfield School District.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.